Share window. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Both of them. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. So, sorry for wasting your time. It's 9:20. So let's start. So, um, today we're going to be discussing um product discovery. Right. Product discovery, understanding and transforming product discovery for better outcome. Right. So, I'm not really going to go very deep into this, right? Just give everybody a brief understanding of what product discovery is, and I'll try my best to,
Hello. Hi, Paul. Please click on this slideshow to make it full screen.
click on this slideshow. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, what? Can you still see my screen? Can you see me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You can.
All right. All right. All right. That's nice. That's nice. So, I'll start. Yeah. Control. Okay. First of all, what's product discovery? Right. Product discovery is simply the process of understanding what the customer needs, right? Understanding what the customer needs in the context and then using that knowledge to build the right product. So most times, let me use myself as example, right? If you're trying to discover a product, right, you might be discovering a product in your head that you think you need, but it's not necessarily, you're not building it for yourself, you're building it to solve a problem. So if you're not building a product, sorry, to solve a problem, then you're practically going to build something that is not going to scale. So, with product discovery, it helps the product teams to discover the features they want to build. Like, you might actually have a particular feature, right, that might be obsolete, right? So, from product discovery, you can discover new tools that are prevalent at that particular time, and you can also know how to input it. And it also ensures you know the right product to build. So, you know, there are many tools like maybe give or take early 2012s, right, that are not in use right now. So with product discovery, you'll be able to, discover, better ways of doing stuff, better ways of doing things, and things that are going to help. So according to Matty Keegan in his book, award-winning book, actually inspired, the process of product discovery, is to simply quickly separate good ideas from bad ideas. So the output of product discovery is put into the product backlog. So a product backlog is just in layman terms what the company or the group of developers or the team is deciding to build for a particular time, maybe quarterly, yearly, or depending on the time frame that they are using. So according to Matty Kagan, the four product discovery questions are simple. Number one, the first idea is the idea valuable to the customer? So in other sense, like I was saying earlier, if you're building a product that the customer will not choose to buy, you're building a product for yourself and you're not going to make any money for it. Second question is it usable? Is it usable? Like I said, you're not building the product for yourself. You're building a product that people can use. So let's say you're a developer, you know how to read code, you know how to fix bugs. Some things might be easy to you to understand, right? But the customer, the end user is the main person that is supposed to know how to use it. So you need to figure it out and make sure it is usable. The third question is it feasible? You know, you might have an idea in your head, right, of what you want to do, but if your engineering team and your product team cannot come to an understanding on how to bring this this your idea to fruition, you probably are going to build something that nobody's ever going to use. And finally, is it strategic? Some things might be luck, some things might be according to the time that it is done. So you might bring up a particular idea that you want your stakeholders to come on board, but if they are not available resources to drive that product, or if they already have something that they are doing, the stakeholders won't support it. So it is best, right, that you be strategic and know how to place and pitch your ideas when you're deciding to do your product discovery. Can anybody still hear me? Can anybody still hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
All right. Next, you have to look at the challenges of product discovery. So, you know, the first one is product discovery in a vacuum. So, discovery is often not connected to the delivery process and current engineering realities. So, if, for example, now you have had an idea that you have siloed for many years, right? It's a good idea, but when you finally decide to, implement it, it's not feasible. Probably the tools that you require to use have been totally eradicated and people are no longer using it again. Like if I can ask now, I'm sure that nobody here has used Skype in a very long time. But in the early 2010s, 2011s, if you want to do video call, it's only Skype that you can use. So imagine coming to build Skype now. It's not going to work. Then customer research is disconnected. So, like I was saying earlier in my earlier example, as a product manager, right, you're not building the product for yourself to use. You're building the product for somebody else to use. So, if your product discovery is ineffective and it does not meet the customer's needs, you're building a bad product and nobody's going to use it. The third one is product managers are isolated. So, if you're building a product, right, and the whole team is not involved, like from top to bottom, right? So it's like stakeholders come, tell you what to do, you just do it. You don't consult with your engineering team to know if they can actually bring it to fruition. You just be there building up and making up things that are never going to be executed. And the third one is incomplete information. So if you, for example, if you work in an organization, right, that ideas come from top down, like from top management down, and from the looks of things, most top management are not really involved in day to day responsibilities. So, information that you might need to complete your product discovery, it might be delayed. The ideas might not be as streamlined. Maybe they might be outdated. So most of all these problems come. So it is better, like when you're doing your product discovery, right? It is like a full hands-on project. Like everybody gets a part to play. Then the final one is communication or communication challenges. So decisions are hard to explain clearly to development teams, right? So, for example, now from top down, right? Information is come from top down, from top level management down to the product manager who is going to explain it to his team, right? So, if the information, for example, if information comes from one person to another person, it tends to morph and change over time. So if the information is not explained clearly, right, that is back to the full buying of everybody, that everybody understand what they are doing, tend to be building the wrong thing that's not going to benefit your end users. Um, Next is I'm going to discuss effects and challenges, right? The effects of this. Now, when challenges are not addressed, product discovery breaks down. Please, can everybody still hear me? You can still hear me, please.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes, we can.
All right. Nice. Um, First of all, prioritization becomes questionable. So if prioritization is questionable, um, you won't get full buy-in from your product managers. So your product manager might just be sitting on the fence because he doesn't know if the product that he's striving hard to do all this product discovery for, if top level management are going to accept it. Now, back to the second one, the whole buying decisions are driven by the loudest voices. If I want to, just throw in a little, the way our parliamentary people in our House of Assembly, they do the I's and the A's. So real clear logic is not, because the person that is speaking the loudest is the person that everybody is going to hear, and everybody is not bought in properly. Yeah, you tend to be building the wrong product that is not going to scale in the market. Now, teams feel ordered, not involved, leading to pushback. That's the same thing. Information coming from the top to the bottom. And most times, when information is coming from the top down to the bottom and effective research has not been done by the people at the top, there'll be a lot of pushback because you hear things like this tool is no longer free, we have this tool that can do it easier, this one you have to pay for subscription now, this one you don't pay for subscription now. So it tends to do a little tic tac and things don't get done. Now, product managers struggle to capture and present relevant data for buying. So if your product managers, right, cannot capture relevant data, right? There's no proper research done. There's no buying in of other teams, like asking the engineering teams to scalable, asking your product manager, what is the time frame that we're going to do this, asking the stakeholders, top level, down up information from the down to the top. All these things don't get done. Then constantly doing representation, changing feedbacks, and scrambling to keep up with delivery updates. That is a no-no. Personally, I don't like doing my work two times. I would like to be told what to do, then I get on it, and if I need to make any corrections, I should make a correction. But I don't like to be doing, especially if we're doing presentations over and over again. Now, product managers feel powerless and stuck in reactive mode instead of leading. So if the same thing with the whole problem of information coming from the top to the bottom. So if the product manager, right, is not free to have some wiggle room to take some decision by himself, you just be stuck with doing what people told you to do, and you'll not be able to implement what's the word, implement research that has been done, and that tends to slow down the process and make things not work out. Now I'm going to move away from that and talk about the dynamic product discovery. So all the while now I've been talking about the traditional pattern of product discovery. So dynamic product discovery, it empowers the product managers to perform ideas to the product success while meeting the needs of stakeholders, building buy-in and participation in decision, integrating with delivery systems, processes, and status. The dynamic product discovery empowers the product manager to promote participation across the team. So in this dynamic discovery, information flows in both ways, from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. So it's easier to, get everybody to buy in, right? And everybody's going to understand the process, know your roles, know what you're supposed to do, and all that. So when this is done, right, it's going to lead to product managers become active leaders, right? It's the best way to do stuff. If you are empowered and given some wiggle room, you can make decisions on the fly with approval, but you can make decisions on the fly. Team members are involved in every stage of discovery, right? So I probably have in a product backlog, we're going to work on this for like 2 weeks or 4 weeks, right? Then after that, we evaluate and come, and everybody knows what stage we are. Stakeholders need balance. Stakeholders needs are balanced with engineering realities. Same thing. When information is flowing freely through the organization, top to bottom, bottom to the top, right? The engineering teams are going to be able to make inputs earlier, right? So that while the product managers are doing their discovery, they'll be able to like tell them like that this is feasible. Like we can't do this with this one, we can do it with this one. You know, like if you check from your day to day, the past 3 years, actually, if are going to a short period of time, most of the tools that were prevalently used, maybe give or take 2018, 2019, most of them are not used as before. Like I'll say, like, for example, now, um, I'll use Skype again, for example. When Skype was it, right? You cannot do video call without Skype. You can't. But right now, almost every single messaging tool, like messages that can go transfer, apart from text messages, though, have a video calling, what's the word? A video calling tool embedded in them. So that just completely just drove Skype out of the market. So, when you are trying to do your discovery, you need to at least, ask the engineering teams for them to tell you what is prevalent in the market at the time. Because if you're going with what you're comfortable with as a product manager, yeah, you tend to make a lot of mistakes. The discovery is linked directly to delivery tools and progress. Like it's the same thing with the on top with engineering realities. So when you're doing your discovery, you should be doing that with tools because this is tech world keeps evolving daily. You need to always do it with tools that are available at the time. Next, I'm going to talk about the key features of product dynamic product discovery. First of all, it's integrated, right? That is, it's tightly connected with delivery tools and engineering systems. It enables bi-directional data sharing and team-wide visibility. Same thing. Forget about the bi-directional English, just information flowing from the top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top. So low-level managers or associates in the company tend to, make their voices heard in product discovery. So if management takes a look at it, it's easier for you to build products that are scalable. It is data driven, right? Centralize all relevant data, business goals, customer feedback, design, development, and sales. So if all relevant data should be put in one place, right? It should be a center place that everybody brings their information to, so that when the product manager is doing his discovery, you don't have to be jumping from one place to the other to look for important information that will help you for your product discovery. It also includes both the formal and informal feedback of product discovery. So that one is self-explanatory. Then team-oriented, all members need to engage in discovery. Solution is exploratory and prioritization. So if all team members are involved, we all know that this is what we're doing now. This is the product we're trying to build, right? So everybody knows, for example, this is our prioritization at the moment. So there's going to be a lot of buy-in and it encourages team-wide ownership and alignment. So if product discovery is team oriented, right? Team members are involved in exploration and discovery. It tends to lead to total buy-in from the top to the bottom. Then continuous and dynamic. Um, it uses it uses sequence of uses sequence based roadmaps, continuously updated when new data is uncovered and discovered. So when product discovery is dynamic, it's like what's the word? It's a particular type of project management I'm trying to remember now, but I cannot, where it's sequence agile. It's sequenced, right? So it's incremental. So if you find new information, you put it into your discovery. Anybody who brings new information is put into, so it's basically giving wiggle room for the product to continue to be updated and improved. Then I'm going to discuss the differences between the traditional, right, and the dynamic. So first of all, the traditional discovery static, it's periodic. So whatever discovery they have done at the beginning, that's what they're going to use to the end. It's time based, right? Quarterly, yearly, monthly, 2 weeks, which is not good. Manual and irregular delivery of date of updates. So things get to be done by the person, right? There's no real time frame. We just know that we're doing it in 1 month. So anytime you want to do your delivery as fast as it's inside that 1 month, that's what flows. And decisions only come from top to bottom. So management will just come and tell employees and product manager, listen, we're building this, and that is what is going to be done. Information is scattered and siloed. Then team, as the team is now the tax executors, which is very bad. Then for the dynamic, it is dynamic and continuous, which is good. Gives wiggle room to continue making incremental changes on the product. The sequence planning, now, next, and later. So everybody knows that after we're done doing this, we're doing this after this, and after this, we're doing something else. So everybody needs to know, like, everybody knows, like, this is where we are, this is where we're going to be in the next 2 weeks, and this is where we're going to go after 2 weeks. Then discoveries are integrated, seamless, and bi-directional. So information comes from bottom level management to top level management. Team leadership, team-oriented leadership. So the product managers tend to enforce buy-in by everybody, right? Centralized and accessible data, team as partners in discovery. So it's a lot different. So instead of being a tax executor, right, you are partnering with everybody to discover the product. And please, can everybody still hear me?
Yes, we yes, we can.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
hearing
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Final takeaways. Coming to the end of this thing. Product discovery helps to ensure we build the right product for our users. Very, very important. Like I said, and I've said it over and over, you're not building anything for yourself. Yes, you use it to, but you're also building it for other people to use. So, for example, a young engineer can build, you can build a house without steps in front because you can jump from the bottom to the top. But you're not the only one that's going to enter the house. Elderly people are going to enter the house. So you need to add stairs so that every other person can use it. So you have to build your product in a way that you're building it for somebody that has never touched a computer before. It needs to be as easy as possible, as seamless as possible, because you're trying to, you know, you're trying to solve a need. You're trying to solve a problem. You're not trying to solve your own problem, even though you solve your own problem of money, but you're trying to solve other people's problem. Now, Kagan's 4 questions are essential. I already talked about Kagan's 4 questions earlier. Is it feasible? Can engineering teams build it? Are stakeholders going to back it? It's very, very important. Then traditional product discovery faces serious challenges like isolation, unclear information, and poor team alignment. So, in other words, it is very, very important for any company or anybody who is intending to build anything, you should switch from the traditional method of product discovery. It doesn't help. Then dynamic discovery offers a more modern, collaborative, and integrated approach. So, like, a business is your business or your tool should not be built like it's a dictatorship, right? You should allow, information to flow through, right? So if everybody buys in, you tend to build better stuff. You know, you're not an authoritarian, you're not a dictator. So you should be open to listen to ideas. You shouldn't always want to be the smartest person in the room. You should be able to collaborate. With collaboration, things get done faster. Then it leads to better products, engaged teams, and strategic alignment across the organization. So yeah, if you do all this, right, you should be able to build a good product that everybody in your organization can buy in. So yeah, so I'll take questions now. Right, I'll take questions. But before, if you have, before that, if you have any question for me, please. If you have any question for me, please let me know. Unmute your mic and ask me a question. If nobody asks me a question, I'll ask. So I'll ask somebody a question. Okay, no questions. So I'll ask a question now. Stop sharing my screen. Share. All right. Can everybody still hear me? Can everybody still hear me?
Morning.
Okay.
Sorry, I think Victoria is no longer on the call. It's time for most of our stand up.
All right.
You've used up your time. Maybe next time you can ask us your questions.
All
All
right.
right,
All
thank
right.
you for the presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hey, it's 9:45. Wow. I don't think I spent this much time. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thank you.